Way back in 2007, then CEO of Ford Motor Company, Alan Mulally, had the idea that all Ford passenger cars model names, Mustang aside, start with the letter F. This worked. What with the Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, Freestyle, 500? Well, wouldn't you know it, this didn't quite work for Ford in the long term and resulted in the 500 being renamed the Taurus to revive a then retired yet familiar name to the Ford lineup. In addition, the Freestyle would be renamed the Taurus X and was basically a Taurus crossover wagon. Available in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive at a $1,850 premium in SEL, Eddie Bauer, and limited trim levels, the Taurus X would be branded as Ford's handiest three-row crossover vehicle. With the class-exclusive command seating, essentially theater seating allowed excellent vision for all passengers, but came at a sort of a cost of headroom for third-row seats. However, it was not as bad as one might think thanks to the gentle upward slope of the roofline and deep cutouts in the headliner to accommodate improved third-row headroom. In addition, the flat-folding front passenger seat allows for items up to 10 feet long to be hauled inside. Outwardly, styling up front matched the Edge crossover SUV with the tri-bar grille and similarly styled headlamps, while the rear matched the design of the Expedition. The Taurus X was produced at the Chicago Assembly Plant in Chicago, Illinois, and ours was produced on February 27, 2008. Hey everyone, in today's latest installation of the in-depth review series, we're going back in time to 2008. And what we're taking a look at is the 2008 Ford Taurus X. Now a lot of you may see this vehicle and think it's a Ford Freestyle or it's a Ford Flex. And you may be right in a little bit, but actually for 2008 and 2009, it is actually a Ford Taurus X. A lot of that history was in the introduction. Now today's is a midline. It is an Eddie Bauer trim. So we had the SEL, Eddie Bauer, and Limited. Today's vehicle is painted in the really nice and very stunning Merlot clear coat metallic, and it features the pale adobe lower cladding. We've also got the two-tone light camel leather interior. Now I do have full pricing on screen and a full options list is in the description box below, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. This vehicle is very nicely equipped for its age. Today's review is going to be a full in-depth review. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior, powertrain, fuel economy, and everything else in between. Power comes from Ward's 10 Best Engine award-winning 3.5-liter Duratec dual overhead cam 24-valve V6 engine. This engine is of aluminum block and head construction and features intake variable cam timing, port fuel injection, and a 10.3-to-1 compression ratio. In this tune, the engine creates 263 horsepower at 6,250 RPM and 249 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 RPM. Car and Driver magazine tested their Taurus X Limited from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.7 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour came in at 22 seconds, with a quarter mile hitting in at 16 seconds at 88 miles per hour. Top speed is governor limited to 111 miles per hour. The Taurus X has a gross vehicle weight rating of 5,500 pounds and can tow a maximum capacity of 2,000 pounds and haul a maximum payload capacity of 1,550 pounds. The Taurus X is equipped with a 19 US gallon fuel capacity and it consumes 5.3 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 364 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 16 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined average of 19 miles per gallon. The sole available transmission is a Ford GM cooperative built 6-speed 6F50 automatic. This transmission features low gear select and the ability to turn overdrive off. There is, however, no manual gear selection, and it does feature a 3.16-to-1 final drive ratio. Steering is hydraulically assisted variable rate rack and pinion with 3.2 turns lock to lock, a 16.1-to-1 overall ratio, and a 40-foot turning radius. Wheels on this car are the $695 optional chrome-clad 7-spoke 18 by 7.5-inch wheels
shot on P225/60 R18 Kelly Edge Touring all-season tires. Brakes are power-assisted 4-wheel disc brakes with 13-inch vented rotors up front and 12.4-inch solid rotors in the rear. Brakes are assisted by ABS and Ford's computer-controlled advanced track electronic stability control. Brakes can halt the Taurus X from 70 miles per hour to 0 in 200 feet.
Now, as we walk along the rear of the Taurus X, I'll notate that the rear is actually a lot higher than the front. That is due to the design of the vehicle. The roofline does gradually slope upwards to allow better clearance for third-row passenger headroom. Alrighty, looking around the rear of the Taurus X, being that it is designed to be more in line of the SUV-style vehicles from Ford rather than the cars, as you can see, it's a much more pronounced SUV-looking rear end, closely resembling that, much more like the Expedition than anything. One really cool feature, though, is very subtle, but you'll notice the roof bars kind of disguise this fact because they go straight across. But you'll notice that the roof line itself actually progressively kind of subtly goes upwards above that rear window, and that does help increase the rear headroom for the third row seat passengers due to the command seating configuration. We've also got these deep tinted windows, the black trim back here that kind of makes it all look like one wraparound piece. Up top you do have the third brake light, rear wiper washer. You also have your antenna there for Sirius XM satellite radio. Moving down, we do have the kind of chunky and blocky clear lens chrome bezeled LED tail lamps back here. So we have LED running lights, LED bulbs for the brake lights and turn indicators, and of course we do have just incandescent bulbs for the reverse lights. Of course we do have the Taurus X badge. Down below we do have the high polished dual chrome tipped exhaust, ultrasonic parking sensors in the rear, nice large Ford logo here, and of course the Eddie Bauer designation for the trim level. And of course, as we walk along the profile of the vehicle, I do have on-screen dimensions so you can see what the size of this vehicle really is. It is a glorified station wagon, but it is actually a crossover. Overall, I think the proportions work really well. Now, as we walk along the front of the vehicle, you'll note that the front is a lot lower than the rear end. That is due to the design of the vehicle. It does aid in aerodynamics, of course. And of course, it does look like a Ford Edge up front. I think that's what the stylists were going for. Just in the Eddie Bauer trim, it looks really good in this color coordination. Alrighty, up front, due to the nature of the vehicle, the front end is a lot lower than the rear end. It's quite obvious up front when you actually take a look at it. The front is a lot more squat in appearance, but it actually looks really, really good. So we're going to go over some of the details. Number one, body color skull caps on the fold-away mirrors. You also have these little ribs here to help with aerodynamics and wind noise reduction. Flowing down, we do have the Pueblo Gold fender flares. Matches really well with the Merlot. Coming down into the Ford Edge-esque clear lens headlamps. Got the turn indicators here, high beams in the center, LED running lights down there, just incandescent, no high intensity discharge or projector beams. Down below we do have just standard fog lamps. And of course we have Ford's tri-bar grille. Looks like it belongs on either the Ford Fusion or of course the Ford Edge. I think that's what Ford was going for, just to keep it more in line with the truck line rather than the car line. All right, now before we get inside, let's take a look at what we got for a key fob. We just have the Ford key, has a Ford logo, dual bladed key, and the integrated remote transponder. So we have the unlock, lock, panic, and our trunk release or liftgate release. It does have a power opening liftgate. Now this vehicle does not have smart key access, but it does have Ford's keypad entry system. So by entering in your 4-digit PIN that you can pre-program, you can actually lock and unlock the vehicle by using that there, which is really convenient. The vehicle is already unlocked, so let's go ahead and open the door and see what we have inside. Now inside we do have a ripped driver's seat, and that's kind of to be expected in a high wear environment. But overall the interior is pretty nice. It it is suffering from 2008 economy, but overall I think the interior looks pretty well nice and everything like that. Ford did opt to go with some higher touch materials, so we have a soft touch vinyl that looks like it's grained to look like leather. It actually works pretty well on top of the door casing here. Power mirror switch, and the mirrors are heated. We also have the chrome door pulls here. It is a darker shade of that camel, so it is more brown than it is black. And then of course we have the light camel. The pseudo perforated insert here is padded, but not actually perforated, it's just indented. Soft touch armrest here. We have our power locks, power windows, and power window lockouts here. Of course, the power mirrors, as aforementioned, up on top. It is framed inside a very nice looking piece of wood harvested from the plastic forest. And of course we have our door pulls here. Nice amount of map storage, bottle holder. We have our door speakers here. Taking a look on the driver's side instrument panel, we have the nice large round, the circular air vents, and you can turn the vents on and off. Automatic headlamp controls with fog lamps, power adjustable pedals, a nice feature to have for sure. Instrument panel brightness and dim. Down here we do have our hood release, parking brake. We've only got 2 pedals because this vehicle is an automatic transmission. And of course a leather wrap tilt and telescoping steering wheel. We've also got 8-way power driver seat, 4-way power passenger seat. We do have our lumbar support here. This little lever here controls the amount of lumbar that we have. And let's go ahead and take a look at the seats. The seats actually are very comfortable and they are very supportive. They do have perforated inserts and accent stitching. Now they are not ventilated, but they are heated. You do have that dark brown accent stitching on the headrest and along the entire border of the seat. Perforated inserts down here. Sadly, this portion of it is ripped, but the seats are still comfortable and everything like that. All right, so let's go ahead and hop in, take a look at the rest of the interior. All right, now that we're inside, let's pan through the interior and show a lot more details. There's a lot to show in here. Leather wrap steering wheel, however, it is not heated, but we do have multi-function controls over here. We have our cruise control, so off, on, cancel, resume, set, accelerate, and set and deaccelerate, so both those buttons can be used to set. Over here we do have our audio controls, sync voice command controls, phone controls, all that kind of stuff. And these buttons over here control our trip computer, which we will go over. We do have a multi-function stalk here that controls the front and rear wiper washer. We've also got our turn indicators and high beams and all that kind of stuff. Taking a look at the instrument cluster, it's pretty basic, pretty traditional for the Ford of this time. We do have a 7,000 RPM tach, coolant temperature, fuel level, and of course 120 mile per hour speedometer. And down below is that trip computer. And by cycling through these buttons here, you can actually cycle through your menus. So right now we just have our distance to empty. Then we have our average miles per gallon, trip timer, nothing, trip A and trip B, and then back to our distance to empty. Really cool feature. If you hit the setup button and hit reset, it'll do a system check. So it'll tell you your oil life, your charging system and alternator, your washer fluid level, your door status, all that kind of stuff, whether or not your lift gate's open or closed, brake system or anything like that. And then if you do setup again, you can actually change your metrics, auto lamp control, auto lock, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, pan over the top of the dash. It's actually pretty much hard plastics through here, but the dash is in good shape. It's not cracked or broken or anything like that. Large passenger airbag door, nice big grab handle here. You do have a locking glove box that's quite large. It does have the owner's manual and all that kind of stuff. Another nice feature is on the top here, we do have a opening odds and ends storage bin. And coming down the center console, more of that really nice wood harvested from the plastic forest. However, the graining actually looks really, really good. It looks quite authentic, actually. It just doesn't feel it. And when the sun hits it, it actually glints a little bit to give that natural grain look. Very nice, actually. More of those round air vents here, but these ones cannot be turned off and on. This is your passenger airbag indicator light here. We do have an AM/FM Sirius XM satellite radio with 6-disc CD changer. It's integrated into the head unit, and MP3 playback. And down below we do have tri-zone climate control, so driver and passenger, and then of course our rear climate controls. Fan speed controls are here. All your panel distribution is there. AC, recirculate, rear fan speed control for front passenger or front controls. You can switch from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Check out your rear air conditioning controls here, and look at the exterior temperature. Moving the shift lever out of the way, it will show us our hazard lights, traction control, ultrasonic parking sensor power switch, and our lift gate release. This is a blank switch here, 12-volt power point. All right, taking a look at the center console, we have a little odds and ends tray here, nice large cup holders, storage bin here. Of course, your shift lever has a chrome band, leather wrapped, piano black bezel here. Looks really, really nice. The sync badge is right here. And we've also got a nice padded armrest with that same accent stitching. It's actually a 2-level armrest, which is really nice. Nice shallow storage here. It's flocked. But if you open this portion up, it reveals a deeper storage underneath. Really nice to have that much storage in a car like this. Alright, so overhead we do have an automatic dimming rearview mirror. It does have the integrated microphones for the sync control. And on the overhead console, we do have overhead map lights and reading lights. If this vehicle is equipped with a sunroof, those buttons would be here. And then back here we do have sunglasses holder. And in the days before the fam cams, we actually had this. What we have here is a parabolic mirror that shows all of the seating. You can see everybody sitting in the seats. It's a very nice feature to have. Taking a look overhead, nice large cloth covered padded sun visors. We do have illuminated vanity mirrors. And of course the sun visors swing out and they slide out on extension rails. But they don't slide out very far, so you do have some exposure to the sun here. In addition, we have overhead assist handles and height adjustable seat belts. So that's the interior of the Ford Taurus X. All right, so we're gonna look inside now, and of course we're gonna look at the rear seats. Opening up the rear doors reveals a nice wide opening door. Now this vehicle does have 3 rows of seating, so let's take a look at the 3rd row seats first. To do so is very easy. We're just gonna lift up on this lever here, lift up again, or you could pull this loop here. And as you can see, just a really nice tip and fold style seat, found in the Expedition as well. And what we have in the back is a 50-50 split folding dual rear seating system. Back here is just vinyl, but we do have height adjustable head restraints. That pseudo perforated inserts, but we still have the two-tone back here. Very nice seating back here. And actually, due to the raised roof and the cutouts in the ceiling, you actually have quite a bit of headroom, a lot more than I anticipated or expected. We do have a 12-volt charge port back here, a little odds and end tray here. Overhead, we do have overhead map lights and illumination, overhead positional air vents. We've also got dual cup holders over here on this side. I wish there was one on the left-hand side as well. We do have the back of the center console, but sadly there's no openings or anything like that for the 3rd row seat passengers. But other than that, actually just a decent 3rd row seat for a car of this size. All right, now we're going to put the seat in place. All right, and let's take a look at the 2nd row seat now. As you can see, we have the dual bucket seats back here with the full center console. Kind of go over that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at the door panel here. It matches the same as materials as the front doors. Soft touch material here, that pseudo perforated inserts, the fake wood trim with the power mirror or window control, chrome door pulls, some storage in the doors, a bottle holder, speakers, that kind of thing. I do believe these seats can actually adjust for forward aft adjust as well by lifting this bar, which is a really nice feature to have for sure. And what we do have are the fully adjustable seats, height adjustable head restraints. They are not heated, however. We do have this really nice center console here. it is a padded armrest, and it does open up to reveal a nice amount of deep storage in here. We've also got some storage here, cup holders. We've also got positional air vents, 12-volt power point. The other thing back here is the rear climate control. This can actually be accessed through the second row seat or the third row seat. And as an example, I'm actually sitting in the third row seat right now. And what we have is our fan speed controller here and our temperature plus panel distribution. So the warmer you get, it'll automatically switch panels. So right now it's like overhead, then it goes bi-level, and then it just goes to the feet for the hottest. But it's really nice to have second row, third row air conditioning controls in a car, especially in this class of this era. And of course, as stated before, you can also control the rear climate controls from the front seat as well. Seat back mat pockets on the backs of both seats. So yeah, just overall a really nice seating area. Oh, but there's one more thing. If it were me and you didn't have a front seat passenger, I would sit on this side. Why? Well, I'll show you why. Get in the seat here. And of course, we can move the seat back if we want. Close the door. This little tab here, this serves as a really nice thing. You can kind of like recline your seat and kick your feet up. Yeah, now we're riding limousine style here. That's pretty nice. This also serves as another purpose, and we will show that momentarily. To lift the seat back up, you just put that in place. But a good word of caution, make sure that there's nobody actually in the seat before you do such a feat or a task, because that person probably will not be very happy with you. All right, now let's talk about the liftgate and storage area. Several ways to open the liftgate. The first way is the button here on the instrument panel at the lower portion right next to the 12-volt power point. Pressing that button will electronically raise that liftgate for you. The other way you can do it is by going underneath the license plate plinth, and right about in the middle there's actually a membrane switch right in here. You can press that and it will automatically open up that tailgate for you. Or you could just take your key fob and double press that button on the key fob, the trunk release, and it will automatically open that tailgate. It is automatic power opening and closing liftgate. And here's what you get for storage. Now, before we talk about storage, actually, let's talk about what's back here. So back here, we do have the button here to close the liftgate. We've also got access to that 12-volt power point, a little small tray here. It'd be really nice to like set your phone there or whatever and charge it. We do have provisions for a cargo net back here, tie down hooks, all that kind of stuff. Deep well storage, and it does actually go underneath the seats, as you can see. So it's pretty spacious back here. We do have a nice deep storage bin back here as well. And underneath the floor mat, we do have our compact spare tire with jack and tools. So let's talk about storage. Right now we do have the third row seats up in place, and on screen is how much cubic feet of storage is back here. Now, lowering these seats is actually very easy. They are not power folding, unfortunately, but if you follow the instructions that are printed here on the seats, or just kind of like guide yourself, because 1, 2, I mean, that's pretty easy. Pull that tether, then you're going to push this seat forward, just like that. Then we're going to press or pull 2, and that's going to unlock the seat from the floor. Take this pull cord, and we're going to do just like that. And what you get is a nice flat floor, and you'll note that the second row seat comes into play for this. Because they're individually adjustable, you could do them one at a time, by all means. Unlock it, pull it, and there you go. Now, with the third row seat folded, your cargo capacity greatly expands, as you can see on screen. A very nice feature to have for sure. Now we're going to go ahead and fold the second row seats, and we're going to show that. All right, so now we have our third row seat, or second row seat folded. And I think this actually would look, or probably be more effective if we had the bench seat instead of the bucket seats, because the console does kind of stick out in the middle. But as you can see, with the second row seats folded, we have a tremendous amount of cargo capacity in this vehicle. But remember not too long ago when I said the passenger seat serves another purpose? Well, this is it. If you really have long items, this is going to come in handy. All right, and with that seat folded, as you can see, you can store a super long item into this vehicle on the right hand side. What makes this even better, say you have a really long piece, why, you can actually lift up your third row seat. We're going to do the number 1, pull our tab. Make sure it's actually locked in place. All right, and then we're going to lift up the other seat. And this is how versatile this vehicle is. So we still can seat 3 people, 2 people including the driver, and still have provisions for an extra long item. So overall, this vehicle is actually very, very capable and very, very just overall capable of carrying a lot of different configurations of cargo. And we're going to lift the seat back up. To do so is just putting it back into place. The 1, and we're going to pull that 3 strap. And there we have it. Seats are back up. And then to close the liftgate, just press this button here. All right, and there you have it, the 2008 Ford Taurus X, America's most versatile crossover family vehicle from this era. We hope you found the video informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrensoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.